Hi, Heather, welcome. Hey, Cass, welcome. Joe's here. Carlos is here. Reese is here. Kim's here. Welcome, Gabby. Good to see you again. It's wonderful. Thank you. It's good to see you. Welcome, welcome. I'll just give people a moment to join and we'll get started. Welcome, Carmen. And Rosie's back. Good to see you. Alrighty, well, we shall get started. Welcome, welcome everybody. Big heartfelt warm welcome. It's great to see you here. My name is Josie Thomson and I will be your facilitator this evening for our mindfulness meditation practice. So let's all smile and be really happy and glad to be here for making this dedicated time just for you to wind down, to chillax and actually cultivate a beautiful space of calm and peace at this time of day when we can actually ease into the rest of our evening and hopefully get some really good sleep as well. So what I'd like to say is just give yourself permission to be fully here. So before we get into anything, I want to just take a couple of breaths with you just to breathe and to fully arrive. Let's just be here. Just take a couple of breaths to wind down, release any tension that you might feel in your body and just arrive. Let your mind be here. Let your whole body be here. And let your breath be present too. Fantastic. Thank you. You'll find that that's a really nice practice to begin your meetings, especially if you're doing virtual meetings and people are plugging out of other spaces and plugging into this space. It's just a really nice way of getting grounded and getting really present. So just so that you know, these sessions are being recorded so that you have ongoing access to the recordings to be able to replay them whenever you like. Now, your video is switched on. That way I can supervise our practice together and to stay on mute so that we can minimize any background noises that might be there. Now, there is a chat box at the bottom of the screen. So if at any point in time you find that there's any questions that arise for you, just feel free to pop them into the chat box. And at the end of the practice, I'm going to stay on and answer any of those questions and we can just hang out and see what's going on for people as well. Now, these sessions are my gift to you. I've been trained in neuroscience, in mindfulness coaching and in workplace mindfulness facilitation as well. I've held my own meditation practice since 1993. I basically got thrown into this space of mindfulness, if you like, when I was first diagnosed with cancer, and it really rocked my world. And all of a sudden I had this threat and anxiety and fear that was so intense and I didn't know how to deal with it. And what I found over the years, especially, it didn't take me 20 years to get here, but the more I did just a few minutes every single day, the more calm and peaceful I felt. And the other thing that it did for me was it made me feel more resilient. I felt like I could handle things a lot better because my mind was clear. And the big thing that I want you to get, that in order to navigate a lot of the uncertainty that's going on around us in life, it's not about having this pretentious positive attitude that everything's going to be okay. It's actually about cultivating an inner calm and stillness that allows you to have a clear mind. Because when your mind is calm, you've got the clarity to think, which then gives you the confidence to discern the decisions that you need to make to navigate all of the uncertainty of what's going on around us today. And I really want that for you. I want you to feel that no matter what's going on in life, you have the capacity to discern the right move in handling, in coping, in navigating what you need to do. Now, this practice is all about cultivating the discipline of focusing your attention, right? It's all about concentration. And today's practice is a whole meditation around really getting some practice around concentration. And it may seem simple to do, it's pretty straightforward, but it actually takes a fair bit of practice to nail it, to feel a sense of confidence that, hey, I can somehow control my brain. Well, you know what? You're never going to control your brain, but you can learn to manage and to discipline your focus and attention. Okay. So, what I want you to do, these practices are designed for anywhere from beginners to advanced. Okay. So, you don't need any specific prior practice or experience with these things. All I need you to have is an openness and a willingness to just give it a crack, to be here, to be present, to be open and willing to be in the moment and to surrender the need to be in control of everything like you're trying to do in your life. This is my turn to give you a gift, to nurture you a little bit, and you just to allow yourself to receive, which you probably don't do a lot of. Now, these sessions are all about mitigating and reducing emotional states of anxiety, fear, panic, stress, and cultivating a much greater reserve of peace, of calm and stillness. Okay. Now, this space is all about you and I connecting, having space to reflect and to reset from your busy days and to ease into the evening and have a better night's sleep. So you don't need to worry about anything. I've got the logistics in hand. I'll make sure we finish on time. All I need you to do is sit tall, to surrender, and to follow my guidance and allow yourself to just enjoy this time here together, connected, and decide to just be here now. Your job is to manage your environment, to minimize any distractions that might be there. And if you do have a mobile device, just put it on silent or turn it off and pop it on the floor where you can't see it. It's not going to disturb our practice. So I've sent you an email with a whole lot of information about these sessions. My commitment is to make this space safe and comfortable for you. And I really want you to come into this space with what I described in that communication I sent you as the 4 attitudes, okay? And what they were was, first of all, have no expectation of the experience and also of yourself, okay? So don't expect to have a blank mind or some kind of blissful floating experience, have no expectation and you won't be disappointed. The second thing is not to have any judgment. That's no judgment of yourself and no judgment of the actual experience. If you don't judge, you won't get frustrated, okay? The third thing is also just be an observer, like gently witness your thoughts and any emotions that might arise and attend to yourself with curiosity and compassion. Just like you would for a friend or someone you really cared about, instead of standing there in judgment, just be curious and hold yourself in the space. And the final attitude to have is a beginner's mind. So what we mean by that is approach each of these sessions with a fresh openness. Try not to recreate any past experience that you might have had. It's entering this room as if it's the first time ever, okay? And in a sense, it kind of is really. So the goal of the practice is not to empty your mind at all. The goal is actually to train and tame your attention and focus. Okay, so be open and allow yourself to enjoy this short, precious practice together. Now, I'll lead us now in a mindfulness meditation practice, and it will be different every time because I really want you to get a flavor of what's out there. And then we're going to look at the reflection question for tonight, which is, what is your intention of this practice? How do you want to utilize it? What do you want to cultivate? Now, again, I'll just remind you, if you have any questions that come into your mind, just pop them in the chat box and I'll stick around afterwards. Now, if at any point in time during the meditation you feel uncomfortable, just open your eyes and keep your gaze down and in front of you. So let's begin. So let's roll our shoulders slowly backwards and then lift them up and drop and release any tension in your shoulders. Just let go. And let's do that again. So let's roll the shoulders back and lift them right up. And then when we drop them, let's see if you could drop them a little further this time. There we go. Beautiful. Now sitting tall with both feet grounded on the ground and your hands just resting gently on your lap. Close down your eyes now or direct your gaze downward. That's it. Now, imagine a string pulling up from the base of your spine all the way up to the top of your head. Now, sitting tall like this creates a space in our abdomen so that we can breathe easier, and it keeps us awake so we don't fall asleep. Now, I invite you to just get comfortable as we start to go inwards, and let's just breathe together a couple of breaths. Let your body be heavy and give yourself permission to let go of your busy day just for the next little while and be here right now. Smile. Your breath is natural, breathing through your nose. As we breathe in deep and breathe out long. Breathe in deep and breathe out long. And notice a sense of letting go. And as we begin, remember we have no expectations, no judgments, just simple observations. Now, this meditation is an exercise in concentration. The more we practice, the more we can hone our ability to focus our attention. Now, take a slow, deep breath and encourage the air you breathe to reach deep into your lungs. Hold the breath for a moment and then release long, allowing all tension and anxiety to fall away. Let's take another deep breath. Hold and release. Encourage each wave of breath to flow into every part of you, deep into your lungs, into your heart, your torso, your arms, your hands, your legs, and your feet. As we begin this concentration exercise, it's helpful to acknowledge the kinds of things that compete for our attention. You might find yourself distracted by a sound in the room or a song that keeps playing around in your head. Or maybe you recently had a disagreement with someone, or you're anxious about an upcoming event. So just for a few moments, pay careful attention to your own mind and watch where it wanders. Breathe. Now, take a slow, deep breath and let your thoughts come to rest. Simply let them fall away. Observe how thoughts exist outside of this calm center. Acknowledge how you're able to watch your thoughts at a distance and imagine them as things that you're able to let go of and let pass by. Now that you've seen how your mind can be pulled outward, you're going to concentrate your mind inward. Imagine now that you're in a national park. Forming a circle around you are some grand eucalyptus trees reaching up far into the sky with gum nuts and leaves on the ground all around you. Tune into the sounds of the trees and feel the sunlight as it falls upon your face. Breathe. You will now hear a series of words that relate to something in the national park. As soon as you hear the word, try to hold its image steadily in your mind for about 10 seconds. Tree. Bird. Branch. Rock. If your mind starts to wander, just gently bring it back to the image. Leaf. Pine cone. Koala. Cloud. To help the image steady itself, become interested in what you see. Let your curiosity help the image stabilize, as if you're learning to take a really close look at it. Blue flower. yellow sun, butterfly, rainbow, take note of how the process of concentration develops in you. Did certain images come to you more easily than others? Just observe. Does it help to concentrate with great effort? Or is it actually easier when you just relax? Perhaps you noticed a change in your breathing. We'll try one more set of words and hold each for 15 seconds. Tree, grass, earth, bird, now reflect on your experience. Perhaps it became easier as we went along. Remember, concentration can be developed with practice and it can be applied to improve every aspect of your life. Let's take some long, deep, slow breaths in and exhale long. In breath fully. Exhale long. Breathe in calm. Breathe out peace. Let's take a few long, deep breaths together in silence and see if you can focus your attention just on the breath. Let's take 2 more breaths. Now, let's take the time to slowly end this meditation. Take a long, deep, slow breath in and exhale out. Start to bring your awareness back to this forum. Move your feet, feeling the contact of your feet on the floor. Move your fingers and your hands. And when you're ready, slowly open your eyes. Here you are. And I invite you to just check in with yourself right now. Notice what you notice. How are you feeling? What's your state of being? And I invite you to answer in the chat box with me. And remember, there's no right or wrong answers, no judgment, just observe. Let's have a look. Cass is feeling calm and serene. Anne is feeling peaceful. Kim is feeling very relaxed. Right. Barbara's ready for bed. Lou's sleepy. Jenny's calm. Love the images. Heather peaceful. During the meditation, I became quite silent. Beautiful. Reese, a bit tired after slowing down after a busy day. Yeah, good. Nancy, not as calm as, and I'm not sure why. Let's talk about that in the debrief. Anthony, very, very calming session. Amy, light and happy. Peter, peaceful. Gabby, sleepy and relaxed. Beautiful. Great, thank you for sharing that. I'm always curious when I think about concentration and I give words, because everyone likes to visualize in different ways and we all will visualize in different ways. Sometimes what can happen is that when we visualize a particular item, if we're not careful, if we're not really disciplined with our concentration, we can go into a bigger picture, and then that can actually bring in a whole other experience for ourselves. So it's a good practice to start to discipline your attention and your sense of concentration, which can also bring a huge sense of centering, because what we don't want to do is center ourselves with external experiences. We want to decenter from everything that's happening out there and recenter here, because this is where our power is. Now let's take a moment to reflect on today's reflection question. So the question today is, what is the intention of your practice? What is it that you personally would love to cultivate by doing these sessions on a regular basis? Let's have a look. If you could pop and share that into the chat box with me, that would be wonderful. Stillness, calm, better sleep. Thank you, Cass. Leanne, not get triggered as easily. Beautiful. Reese, just to set up and help myself regulate. Kim, it's coming quickly now. Being connected, beautiful. Gabby, being content and relaxed. Able to meditate. Jenny. Lou, more clarity and more calm. And calm of mind when you're anxious, absolutely. Barbara, coming back to center. Rosie, inner strength. Inner peace, more centered. Enhance my knowledge of meditation. Beautiful. Great. And I'm happy to help. If you guys have any suggestions of things that you'd like me to cover off, please bring them forward. Send me an email. You've got my email address. So I'd really love to. And thanks for all the feedback that you've been providing. So I really want to thank you for sharing this space with me tonight. I hope you've enjoyed this mindfulness meditation about cultivating a greater sense of concentration. Now, as you know, I'm offering these sessions every night at 8 p.m, even through the weekends for the whole month of April. And there's also a midday session as well. And if you want to register for that, if you're not on that, it's just josiethomson.com/reset. And that's 15 minutes every weekday at midday. And that's a nice way to kind of anchor yourself halfway through your day. Now, I look forward to connecting with you all again tomorrow, same time, same place. Bring a friend along. And I'm going to hang around now and answer any questions that are there. But in the interim, if you need to leave now, just remember to look up and smile. Remember the reset. And also, maybe think about counting your blessings more than your problems. Remember, concentration, where focus goes, energy flows. So if we concentrate and give focus to the good in our lives, we start to amplify that. It's not about discounting what else is going on there, but we also want to keep our focus and attention on the good stuff as well, to keep the balance in our focus. So let's carry each other in our hearts. May you be safe, may you be calm, and may you be well. So good night to those who need to leave. I'm going to stop the recording now. So goodbye if you need